It's Monday, January 4th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch. Today we're talking about The Economist. Saeed, for some reason, goes to investigate Naomi's body, and he finds this bracelet. And engraved on this bracelet says, "And I'll always be with you, RC or RG." I have a feeling, and that's what it is, just an opinion, that these bracelet people are in opposition to, like, Ilana and Richard Alpert. Saeed wants to get on the chopper and go to the freighter to ask questions himself about what their true intentions of coming to the island are. And Frank agrees to let Saeed on if he goes and brings Charlotte back. Saeed, Miles, and eventually Kate decide to go off and try and get Charlotte back. While all this is going on, Locke leads his people towards Jacob's cabin, and they come back to the Circle of Ash that we saw in Season 3, but there is no cabin. Does that mean that the cabin has moved outside of the Circle of Ash? Because I kind of assumed that that Ash Circle was keeping whatever is in not Jacob's cabin in there. Back by the helicopter, Daniel Faraday decides to kill some time and do some experiments. He talks to Regina on the satellite phone, and she launches something, we're not sure what it is yet, and she says that it should be approaching him at any moment, but he doesn't see it. And then sometime later, the rocket finally arrives, and he takes out a timer, and he compares it to the timer that he has, and they are 31 minutes apart. Saeed, Kate, and Miles get to the Dharma barracks, and they find Hurley has been tied up in a closet. Hurley's story is that Locke and the others just left him there. And we also have our first exchange between Hurley and Miles.
Who are you?
Where the hell did they go, Tubby?
Oh, awesome. The ship sent us another Sawyer.
The group goes to investigate Benjamin Linus's house. Saeed finds the secret room behind one of his bookcases, and it has all sorts of currency from all over the world and passports as well. Then we discover that Hurley was lying, of all people to deceive us. Hurley. Locke and the others didn't leave him behind. They were there ready to capture whoever came. Sawyer is the one who takes Kate hostage, and he talks about how he and Kate can play house here because really there's nothing for either of them to go back to. Bringing up a point I think a lot of fans were asking themselves is, why does Kate want to go back so badly? Because the only thing waiting for her is a jail cell. Because truly, if it hadn't been the whole cover-up and the Oceanic 6 story and all the survivors just went back as is right now, I think Kate would have gone to jail. Locke told Saeed that Ben knows all about, like, Charlotte and Miles and whatnot because he has a man on the boat. Saeed demands to know who it is, and Ben says it's a secret. It's not really a secret. We all know who it is. I'm gonna vent about this later in another episode. But another interesting statement here is Saeed says to Locke, "I'm sorry, but the day that I start working for Ben is the day that I will have sold my soul." Of course, very relevant to the end of this episode. In order to get Charlotte, Saeed exchanges her for Miles. Kate decides to stay behind. Frank, Saeed, Desmond, and Naomi's body are a group that's going to head back towards the freighter. Daniel reminds Frank to follow the exact bearing that he came in on, and they take off and head towards the freighter. Flash forward to Saeed looking very comfortable playing golf. And then we're in Germany, where Saeed meets this beautiful woman named Ilsa, and they decide to go on a date together. Ilsa says that she works for an economist, and he only comes into Berlin a couple times a year, but she carries his pager with her all the time, and whenever he pages, she's got to be there. Later, Saeed and Ilsa are having a post-sex pillow talk, what have you, and Ilsa talks about how Saeed really never talks about his so-called job, and he's really secretive, and she kind of hates that about him. Very hypocritical, Ilsa. It's clear that Saeed has developed feelings for Ilsa, and he tells her that she needs to get out of Berlin because when what goes down and your boss gets taken out, people are going to ask questions and you can't be here to answer them. And Ilsa is really upset about this. We discover that Ilsa knew that she wasn't working for an economist, that she was also some kind of assassin. Ilsa is talking on the phone, and she decides to keep Saeed alive so that she can get information from him about who he is working for. Saeed manages to get his hands on a gun, and he kills her. Saeed has terrible luck with women. I think this means you're supposed to be a bachelor. Last scene of the episode, Saeed goes to a veterinarian's office to get fixed up by whoever he is working for.
She wanted to know about you.
Of course she did.
For me, this wasn't so much of a, oh my god, kind of shocker, but a, really? Huh. I wonder how that works out. That's where we're going to leave it today, with Saeed working for Ben. Liz, you're talking about Eggtown tomorrow, so I'll see you then.
We're gonna need to watch that again.